If I didn't have Pacific Clinics, I probably would still be out in the street.
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them.
I don't believe I would be here. I was suffering, I was praying and suffering, praying and suffering.
Thank God for Pacific Clinics, because I don't know what I would have done with him.
My depression started a long time ago. I was approximately 19. My mother got killed, was murdered, and my son died around the same period of time. And I didn't really understand what I was going through, but I knew I was quite different. I knew things were different for me.
When I was 12, my mom died from cancer and diabetes, and I developed major depression, and I attempted suicide.
I used to wake up like around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would hear things that they weren't there and things like that, and they diagnosed me as schizophrenic.
My first grandchild, my oldest grandchild, his mother tried to commit suicide 3 times. And I took her to court and won custody of my grandson.
After she died, I was severely depressed. I stopped caring, stopped taking care of myself. I wouldn't do anything.
He had post-traumatic stress from being taken away from his mother. I would even have people tell me something's wrong with that kid. You know, they'd say something's wrong with that kid, and I knew that.
I've had many, many jobs, but never understood why I couldn't hold on to them. But if your mental illness goes unaddressed like mine was, me feeling like that I was normal, feeling like I could handle things, but there was always something that would go wrong that would bring me back down and show me that something was wrong, but I wasn't ready to address it.
He'd hurt himself. He'd hit his head on the wall, and he'll pull his eyelashes out.
I wasn't eating for 2 weeks. So at the end of the last 2 weeks of the month, I didn't have no money, so didn't have nothing to buy, so I couldn't eat. That's hard for a person. You imagine not eating for 2 weeks. That's hard.
You're just devastated. It's really no words for it. That feeling of lostness. You're feeling lost. And because you have a mental illness, it's like to the 10th degree of lost. And I felt lost. I was lost.
If I hadn't gotten help for Bernard, I don't think I could have handled him. I don't think he could have lived with me. Truly, I think he would be in the foster system.
There were times I had fallen backwards and thought about committing, and they kept pulling me out. And I'm really grateful.
I had worked for Starbucks before. I worked for Walmart before. I worked for Toys R Us. I mean, I couldn't find those jobs by myself. I mean, without Pacific Clinics, I wouldn't be able to find those jobs.
And I'm very grateful. The first day I turned the key into my own place, which I don't think I'd ever had since I was 18 years old, sent chills through my spine. It was like something that you just don't know how it feels when you've had to sleep in a car, sleep in a van, and you can't get comfortable, to actually turning the door and being able to go in your refrigerator and get something out that you bought.
Pacific Clinics did save our family. If we did not get help here, I don't know where our family would have been.
Now I've gone through the mental health worker training course here, and I graduated, was valedictorian, and I'm looking for a job in the same field that helped me. I want to be a case manager, a peer partner, and help others the way Pacific Clinics has helped me.
5 years ago, I would have told you, no, I ain't going back to school. But since being here at Pacific Clinics, I've enrolled in school, I've taken classes, and I've passed them. So yes, it is a tremendous change. And I just want to let the people know that places like this is a wonderful and magnificent place for someone like me to try and restart their life over.